Tonight, a growing firestorm around President-elect Trump's pick to lead the nation's health department, RFK Jr. The New York Times reporting Kennedy's lawyer, Aaron Gilchrist, asked the FDA 2 years ago to revoke approval of the polio vaccine, which has been used for nearly 70 years to inoculate millions against that deadly disease.
The polio vaccine is one of our safest vaccines. It's actually responsible for almost the near extinction of wild polio virus.
The new revelation sparking swift backlash.
You can't make this stuff up.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren blasting Kennedy in a video posted to X.
Say goodbye to your smile and say hello to polio. This is a man who wants to stop kids from getting their polio and measles shots. He's actually welcoming a return to polio, a disease we nearly eradicated.
Republican Senator Mitch McConnell, a polio survivor, also speaking out in support of the vaccine, saying efforts to undermine public confidence in proven cures are not just uninformed, they're dangerous, adding anyone seeking the Senate's consent to serve in the incoming administration would do well to steer clear of even the appearance of association with such efforts. In response to the New York Times reporting, Kennedy and the Trump transition team releasing identical statements saying the polio vaccine should be available to the public and thoroughly and properly studied. In a statement to the New York Times, Gilchrist said all of his petitions were filed on behalf of his clients. Kennedy's vaccine skepticism has become a hallmark of his public health image, pushing debunked claims that childhood vaccines can cause autism. In an interview with Time magazine, Trump echoed those concerns, saying, "We're going to have a big discussion. The autism rate is at a level that nobody ever believed possible."
Pam is going to be great.
But in an interview with our own Kristen Welker on Meet the Press, Trump seemed dubious about taking the polio vaccine off the market.
The polio vaccine is the greatest thing. If somebody told me get rid of the polio vaccine, they're going to have to work real hard to convince me. I think certain vaccines are incredible.
Polio was once one of the most concerning childhood illnesses on the planet, a vicious infectious disease that sometimes invades the central nervous system, causing paralysis. It was responsible for more than 500,000 deaths a year globally before the introduction of a vaccine in the 1950s. Now it's virtually non-existent in the U.S. and most other places around the world.
While in the United States we're free of paralytic polio, there is still a risk if we stop vaccinating that we may see cases occur again. This is something that we really still need until this virus is eradicated from the planet.
Last month, Kennedy addressed concerns about his vaccine views with our Von Hilliard.
If vaccines are working for somebody, I'm not going to take them away. People ought to have a choice, and that choice ought to be informed by the best information.
Aaron Gilchrist joining us now from Washington, D.C. Aaron, RFK Jr. still has to get congressional approval before he would become HHS secretary. So the question now is, how will this new reporting impact his chances of confirmation?
Yeah, that really is a big question. Part of this, you could say, is just sort of part of the process, right? We know that when you're chosen to be a cabinet-level secretary during the transition process, there are going to be people who dig into your past. They're going to dig into the past statements, for example, of people who are connected to you. And so these things become a part of the news cycle. When it comes time for confirmation hearings, though, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will have to answer questions about the things that other people have said to him, about him, or on his behalf, and sort of make an accounting as to whether he supports those ideas or not in this moment. And then those people in those confirmation hearings are going to make some decisions about whether they will vote for him or not. And so ultimately, we will see what happens come January when the new Congress takes session. Sam?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.